Hello, Joanie Rotten here. I have been binge watching Karen videos, learning so many interesting things. One of them did something very interesting. I had to go see if this was a thing, and so I'm going to share a couple of little informations about Uber. So this video came about this Karen, and or in an Uber car, and the driver says something really interesting, so I had to go look it up. So I'm going to play the video, and then I'm going to read what I found.
Today, we're looking through the craziest Karen and Kevin clips on the internet this week. Let's dive in. You can bet that this Karen's Uber rating went down pretty quickly after the way she treats this driver.
I know. Get out. 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 Get out, please. I was just being nice because of this guy, but you. Please, tell him to get out, please. All right. All right.
Get your camera out of my face, boss.
I was just being nice because of this guy. She was not being nice to me. I have to record it.
Put your camera in my face.
Yeah, of course. I'm not recording you, sir. I'm not recording you, sir.
Already with what you said when I got.
I was just being nice because of you, sir.
Excuse me, I have you recorded.
I'm not supposed to wait up to 10, 15, 20 minutes. Okay?
Listen, you said I have bills to be paid. It's taking too long.
No, I have the right to record it.
Look,
Because she's
you
being
should
dangerous
take
to
that.
her.
I'm being a
You said
gentleman.
you wanted bills to be
I was
paid,
being
right?
nice because of this guy, sir. But
Look, I wish you the best, sir. Look, I wish you the best, but here you go for your bills.
you see this?
Go ahead.
You
You
see
can
this?
throw it out. I don't know how to respond.
Sir.
This Kevin just can't.
Okay, so at the very beginning of that, he says this Uber driver's rating, Uber rider rating. So I wanted to know if that was a thing, and it turns out it is. So here's the article. I'm just going to read it. It's on my phone. I think it's from the Washington Post. It is. It is from February 16th of 2022 by Heather Kelly. And it says you can now see how many Uber drivers liked or hated you. And it says Uber drivers have been rating riders for years. And a new option in the app lets everyone see how many one-star ratings you've received. So I guess they've been able to rate you as a passenger in the same way you can rate them as a driver. But up until this 2022, you didn't know that. You didn't have access to that. And so the article goes on to say that Uber driver Randy Clark always rates his passengers after a trip, despite the ride-sharing app offering 5 different star ratings. The driver of 6 years has settled on his own system. It's either 1 or 5. There is no in between with me, said Clark, who lives in Arizona. Starting this week, Uber passengers can see what ratings drivers such as Clark have left them, though they are kept anonymous for everyone's safety. In the past, riders were able to see an average score based on all past trips, for example, 4.25 stars. The new setting, buried deep in the Uber app, breaks it down so you can see totals of how many drivers assigned you 5 stars or 4 stars, all the way down to a 1-star rating. And the chart only shows your last 500 trips. And then it goes on to tell you how you can find this information in the app. I'm not going to go through that. You can figure that out yourself if you want to know. But I want to read the rest of the article. So it says the results may be surprising, especially if you think of yourself as a courteous passenger. If you know you're unpleasant, any 1-star ratings could be less of a shock. Despite having positive scores from 97% of my drivers, I will forever wonder what I did to the 11 who gave me a 1-star. Ratings on the app have a practical purpose beyond making you question whether strangers hate you. If driver or passenger get consistently low scores, they could lose access to some or all of the company's services. However, Uber doesn't have one set cutoff point. The minimum average rating is different for each city in which the company operates. That's because of cultural differences and how people rate each other according to Uber. And these differences might be apparent in the average ratings for each city. So Uber this week also shared a ranking of the best and the worst cities based on average passenger scores. The top 3 cities where riders perhaps slammed doors a little less are San Antonio, St. Louis, and Nashville. On the other side of the 3 cities with the lowest average passenger rating, New York, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. What exactly would earn you a low rating from an experienced driver? For Clark, it's drinking alcohol in the car, yelling or screaming, not being at the set pickup point, slamming doors, asking overly personal questions, trying to fit extra passengers, adding stops mid-ride, touching his radio, and throwing up anywhere but the medical grade plastic bags he has thoughtfully provided. So don't puke in his car. Definitely calling me Mr. Uber driver. I have a name, added Clark, or talking to me in a way that's degrading or demeaning makes me feel less than in my own vehicle. So how do you become a better rated driver? They give you, some point. But what I found the most interesting about this is when we're talking about a future that has like social scores and credits, these kinds of things that allow you to have access to certain areas, and you make a scene or you don't say thank you when the cashier hands you your receipt, or it's not the customer isn't always right now. Do you kind of think that's an interesting, idea there? And we're right here. So they're telling you this is on the way. They're letting you know that we are gathering this information. We're not using it right now. It's going to a third party. You agree to that when you agree to the app, but it's being tested. And we are testing it. And the fact that it even says cultural differences in the way that the scores means that there's an algorithm trying to work out your race or your ethnicity or your sex or whatever it might be that could have some percentage of an idea of what you might, how you might rate something, so they can give you a buffer zone there, and then that gets compared to the driver and what the passenger rated. So if the driver gives them a low rating and the passenger gives the driver a low rating, you have something there that both people were unhappy. So who's in the wrong here? And now we got to go to social court. Do we have to go to the gym at school so we can have a court session of which person was more inappropriate? Is this the new Judge Judy? Maybe. Anyway, just some random thoughts, open thoughts. I'd love to know what you think. Did you know that Uber was allowing drivers to score you? Maybe if you thought about it for a minute. Had you thought about, what that could mean in another, say, 10 years or, 15 years? Something like that. These dates they have for us, 2030, 2035, 2040. They got these dates, Now I, as a passenger, have to behave myself or I might get in trouble. Gonna not be able to use Uber one day because I didn't have enough points saved up. What a weird thing to think about. I mean, I don't personally think I would have a problem. I think, I'd probably get low scores for not, because it'd be an awkward social situation. Like, I don't know, what's going to be, am I going to have some algorithm for the socially awkward people that don't really know how to chit chat at the checkout line at Kmart or something. You know, how was your day? Was great. Thank you. How was your day? Fine. Lovely weather. You know, or maybe I don't talk enough. Or maybe I asked too personal of a question because the cashier doesn't want me asking them how their day was. I mean, oh, I don't know. The future sounds crazy as fuck. Anyway, we'll all be in it together. Bye.